A look at some of the top stories from a day of reporting throughout Southwest Florida here in Fox 4, days after a massive winter storm system, and still thousands of delays and cancellations at airports across the nation, including in Southwest Florida, as Southwest Airlines has most of the cancellations at RSW. The Southwest Airlines Pilot Association is also pointing the finger at the storm from before Christmas, as well as the airline's scheduling software calling it outdated. A union rep for Southwest flight attendants is also criticizing the airline, saying that Southwest chose to take flights in the middle of the storm and not cancel enough of them as it pushed through the nation. Experts are estimating there'll be more than 30 million cubic yards of debris picked up from Hurricane Ian throughout the state. One of the biggest concerns among environmental watchers is water that may leach from the landfills into groundwater. Researchers at Florida Gulf Coast University are studying whether mangroves can help to filter out some of the more harmful materials to protect the environment, as mangroves do grow better in nutrient-rich environments, but researchers don't yet know how they will hold up to toxic materials. But time is running out, and with more trash piling up, a solution is needed before the long-term damage reaches the environment. Fort Myers police also want more information about what led up to an early morning shooting on Tuesday near Fowler and Winkler. Investigators say it happened at about 3 in the morning at a parking lot on Fowler, with gunfire hitting one person who's expected to survive. Police do have this man in custody, though, Desmond Moss, on a $250,000 bond. Anyone with further details on the crime is asked to contact Crime Stoppers.
And turning to our weather now across Southwest Florida, it will be another chilly start. Widespread 40s are expected, so heads up there. You might want that jacket for your Wednesday morning. We'll start things off around 48 degrees or so in Fort Myers. Elsewhere, a little chillier, especially farther north toward Arcadia. We'll start things off around 46 or so. Punta Gorda, Port Charlotte, 47. Low to mid 50s are expected to start off the day across Collier County. But heading into the afternoon with that dry air in place, just like today, it'll be a nice warm up. We'll push toward the mid 70s, which is the normal for this time of year. Mostly sunny skies are expected. And if you're craving even warmer temperatures, well, here we go. As we bring in the new year, we can expect partly cloudy skies both Saturday into Sunday, New Year's Eve into New Year's Day. Afternoon highs in the lower 80s. 20% chance for a spotty shower or storm.
It's a sound passengers and families want to hear. Bags arriving at their final destination. And not sitting alone here.
This is probably his 4th or 5th try getting here.
Kristen Ritz's dad has been trying to get to Fort Myers from Cleveland since last Thursday.
He literally had booked like 2 or 3 different tickets, knowing that that was going to be a mess.
On Tuesday, he made it.
We'll have our Christmas dinner tonight.
Others, like Morgan Trout, not so lucky.
Saturday morning, I was originally supposed to fly out.
She's still trying to make the trek from Columbus, Ohio to see family, and
I also wanted to surprise one of my best friends, but that can't happen either.
5 times her Southwest flight from Columbus got canceled. The lack of transparency, communication, and accountability, Trout says, is frustrating.
You should have plans in place for things like this. Why were they not prepared for this to happen?
A question the Department of Transportation is also looking into. Southwest says the recent winter storm forced the cancellations. However, employee unions say outdated software is also to blame.
Usually around the winter time, it's always something crazy.
Rob Amos with Naples Limo says the delays and cancellations have already cost him.
I lost 2 jobs already today because of delays that I can't pick up 2 people at the same time at different places.
Places thousands of people are trying to get to before the holidays are over.
I mean, I already missed the holidays with my family. I'm just trying to get there at this point.
We're all here. We all made it, and he didn't. So we're excited that we're finally getting to pick him up.
Heaps of garbage have been collected all throughout Southwest Florida. In Lee County alone, you could fill the Empire State Building 3.5 times full of trash. But a big concern is what happens when water leaches through the garbage in landfills and into the ground.
But if we had a storm and then we have big rain, so everything will be leaching out into the ground, and then it becomes nearly impossible to fix that issue.
That's why scientists like Dr. Serge Thomas with the Water School at Florida Gulf Coast University are studying ways to filter out the harmful materials in landfills. That has them looking at mangroves, which grow naturally along Florida's coastline.
We can actually use them and study how much pollutants they remove. So we're looking at nutrients, we're looking at heavy metal, we're looking at compounds.
Dr. Thomas says mangroves grow better in nutrient-rich environments, but researchers don't yet know how they would hold up against toxic materials. He tells me he's optimistic about some of the early research he's seeing, but the clock is ticking. With more and more trash piling up, a solution might be needed before long-term damage hits our environment.
It takes a lot of money to treat chemically that leachate. So we're using here again plants to do the job. Like we use wetlands to treat the water for nutrients. We're going to try to use mangrove.
Unacceptable meltdown. Those are the words Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg used Tuesday to describe the recent wave of flight cancellations from Southwest Airlines. The company has canceled more than 8,000 flights for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, according to FlightAware. By comparison, rivals like Delta and United have only canceled a small fraction of their schedule.
Clearly seems like Southwest has lost their ability to control the situation.
Tens of thousands of passengers are stuck trying to get to their destination or stuck on hold with the company as they try to get a refund. And in many cases, they've been separated from their bags. Suitcases are piling up in cities like Des Moines, Tampa, and Chicago.
No one knows what to say. Even the poor agents sitting behind counters have quietly admitted that this is absolutely insane.
Southwest is reducing its schedule through at least Thursday as it tries to sort out the mess. In interviews, company leaders have blamed winter weather and a struggle with some scheduling technology. Tuesday, Transportation Secretary Buttigieg promised a full federal review of the incident. Tuesday, the Supreme Court ordered a controversial Trump-era border restriction to remain in effect while legal challenges play out. The policy, Title 42, is used to deny migrants entry into the United States without a hearing. The Trump administration put it in place in March 2020. At the time, it was presented as a COVID-19 prevention measure. As part of its decision, the Supreme Court said it will hear arguments on Title 42 in February. In the meantime, federal officials will be able to continue to quickly expel migrants at the nation's borders.
Another year in the past, putting us further from the start of the COVID-19 pandemic. 2022 provided solutions and expanded answers.
We've seen an evolution, not just in the virus itself, but in the way we think of COVID-19 as an illness, and the way we treat it, the way we diagnose it, and how we look forward to the new year.
Chief Medical Officer at Swedish Medical Center in the Denver area, Dr. Jaya Kumar, has been at the forefront of this virus since its inception.
Now we have rapid sequencing of viral genomes. So any virus you see, you could sequence it, duplicate it, make a treatment or a vaccine against it. That is huge.
She points to some of the biggest advances that were made in 2022.
We saw new antiretroviral drugs come in, like Paxlovid, which is a pill which you can give as an outpatient.
That is something Dr. Scott Joy, who has worked with many sick COVID patients in Colorado, says has kept patients out of the hospital.
On a weekly basis, we're doing, myself personally, about 6 to 10 prescriptions of Paxlovid a week. And I think that I've yet to see a patient who's been admitted really in the last 6 months of 2022.
The last year has also expanded experts' knowledge.
For example, we are seeing an RSV or flu surge. Things have become like a piece of cake for us. We know what to do. And we had our surge protocol ready in 30 minutes, while this would have taken us hours and hours of hard work 2 years ago.
But while these successes are worth celebrating, both doctors say it's important to acknowledge the hurdles.
I think one of the challenges moving forward after the pandemic is patients' trust in the vaccine. I'm a little concerned that vaccines are just the tip of the iceberg. Then we're going to start getting questioning about data around cancer screenings and questioning about cholesterol medicines to reduce risk of heart attack and stroke.
And healthcare staffing has become an issue too.
I think the biggest challenge we have moving forward is really the workforce. That's going to be a big challenge for us in the next year or two.
These experts emphasize that people are still not caught up on necessary medical exams and screenings, which could lead to larger health complications if not taken care of.
I do think we've held back. And we are still seeing people come in with advanced stages of illnesses. We still see in the hospitals people who have postponed medical care. I think we need to do a lot of catching up in the next few years.
In order to understand where we are going, it's crucial to pinpoint where we currently stand with COVID-19.
The concept of never getting COVID is something that we need to get over.
We could potentially enter into an endemic stage, but that'll take some time. An endemic stage is where you see predictable surges like flu.
The years to come will allow us to be more informed on the effects of the COVID-19 virus.
We're still in the infancy stages of this pandemic, although it seems like it's been years, but long-term effects are still unknown. So the next few years will be building upon the technology, investing more in basic science research, and be better prepared for any more pandemics that we may see in future.
In Denver, I'm Jessie Cohen reporting.
We're in the middle of the holiday travel rush right now, and whether you're flying now or sometime in 2023, you may see some new technology at the airport. The TSA has been expanding where it's testing facial recognition technology for passenger screening. It's now at more than a dozen airports across the country you see on this map. The agency tells us it's evaluating the efficiency of this technology before taking it nationwide. Here's how it works. At security, you put your ID in a machine and the photo is matched with what the camera sees. The TSA is also testing another system on a more limited scale where your face is your ID. The machine compares your face to a database of pictures the government already has.
There's a consent aspect, there's a privacy aspect, and there's a security aspect that really needs to be considered a lot more thoughtfully before TSA moves forward with any of this.
India McKinney is with digital rights group the Electronic Frontier Foundation. She says there are more privacy protections around the machine checking out your ID compared to the system that just uses your face because it's not connecting your information to the internet. There's also the question of bias. McKinney says it's a mistake to assume the technology is going to work 100% of the time for everyone. The TSA tells us it's continuing to monitor to ensure there's no inherent bias and says the pilots are voluntary.
The question when they say something is voluntary is how easy is it to opt out? And we've gotten conflicting reports on exactly how easy that is.
McKinney believes it's going to be on Congress to make sure people continue to have the ability to opt out. Happy New Year's. Get ready for higher gas prices. Gas Buddy says the national average could hit $4 a gallon by May. It's at about $3 right now. Analysts said those higher gas prices will likely continue throughout the summer since more people are driving during that time, and it's more expensive to produce summer-grade gasoline. Retail sales were up 7.5% this holiday season. That's according to MasterCard. Company looked at data from November 1st through December 24th. The numbers do not account for inflation, which is up about 7% year over year. That could mean people spent more to get a similar amount of stuff. The pandemic may have cost your child $70,000 in lifetime earnings. A Stanford study blames learning loss for the income decline. Researchers say more students are falling behind in school and taking longer to catch up. They blame the abrupt shift to remote learning in 2020. Learning loss is also linked to lower graduation rates and higher crime rates.
I'm Fox 4 certified meteorologist Katie Walls. Heading out this evening, high pressure is in control. That means mostly clear skies and those temperatures not quite so chilly. So tomorrow morning we'll start things off in the upper 40s, still a bit cooler than average, but certainly not as chilly as it has been. Light northeasterly winds are expected around 10 miles per hour. And for the rest of us, we'll be starting off in the mid 40s for DeSoto County, extending toward Port Charlotte into Northport. Around 46 degrees or so for Punta Gorda, 50 for Bonita Springs. Lower 50s expected for coastal Collier County as we kick off your Wednesday morning. And that's basically the final day of temperatures in the 40s. We'll quickly see those temperatures moderate, climbing into the 50s for lows Thursday morning. And then we'll be heading into spring territory as we start off the new year with morning temperatures in the 60s. High temperatures tomorrow climbing into the mid 70s. And then by Friday, we push toward 80 degrees with lower 80s expected as we ring in 2023.
If you would ask me when I was 3 years old what I wanted for Christmas, my answer probably would have been to be the king of a toy lair like this. But more research is showing toys like these, they're not just for kids any longer, more adults than ever before buying them for themselves.
Everybody has their different passion as far as it comes down to.
If passion could be personified,
All right, don't get my snot nose now.
it would be this. A grown man braving sub-zero temperatures for a few minutes of joy with his remote-controlled car.
You're not sitting behind a TV or a video game. You're actually enjoying being outside. Rain, snow, or shine. Pretty much my RC room. It's kind of like the playroom.
Step inside, however,
This drill is such a pain, but so easy at times.
and you can see just how deep Vinny Indolini's passion goes.
Up here we have the new Fortec. This is the Corvette series that they just came out with. Mustang Drag Slash, basically it's set to go A to B.
Vinny is one of the millions of Americans who hasn't been able to shake the joys of childhood. New numbers show over the course of the last year, people 18 and older represented 14% of U.S. toy sales as they spent $5.7 billion on them. That's significantly higher than the previous year, as adults are the second fastest growing user of toys in the country and companies are taking note. In October, McDonald's launched adult Happy Meals, and other companies are spending more marketing dollars on older age groups.
Just in trucks alone, I probably got about 15 grand invested. Just in trucks, not including batteries, parts, hours, paint, none of that.
Vinny has been at this for years, but the pandemic accelerated the growth of what some are calling kidults.
It's a lot of fun.
As people spent more time indoors with time on their hands, brands like Lego and Build-A-Bear started targeting adults as they rekindled old passions. Today, 40% of Build-A-Bear sales come from adults and teens, up from 20% in 2012.
These things take a beating, that's for sure.
It's a growth Vinny has seen firsthand.
We're going over here to my car to pull some of my cars out of my trunk.
His wife, Stacy, got into the passion 7 months ago as she now boasts a collection of 9 RC cars herself.
It was like a grown man, hey, okay, you know, everybody has hobbies, that kind of thing. And then he took me out and I did my first run on his car and I loved it. I was like, oh, this is fun. Like, you can have so much fun. There's so much to do with it.
I'll never outgrow it. I mean, we got guys that come with us to Wheel Park. I mean, 50, 60 years old, 7 years old. They love it. It gives them something to do.
Pursuing passions creates happiness. And for people like Vinny Indolini and his wife, that's something that will never go out of style.
Every day I get to, well, I'm going to go race on the street today. I don't have to go to jail for it, so that's a bonus.
In Denver, I'm Dan Grossman.
"24 notes. So familiar to the ear.
It's just not another tune. It's something that is uniquely American.
Melodic, yet solemn in their simplicity.
Very heavy and profound.
98-year-old bugler Stuart Boone does not need sheet music.
An honor to play it.
The veteran of the Battle of the Bulge can tally how many times he has played taps.
It brings tears to most people's eyes to hear it.
The call that echoes from coast to coast at military funerals and installations daily was composed just a few miles from where Mr. Boone now plays. Berkeley Plantation in Charles City County is dripping with history. It was the site of the first Thanksgiving and home to our 9th president, William Henry Harrison. The sprawling landmark sitting along the James River is also the birthplace of taps.
The tune itself has become our national song of remembrance.
In July of 1862, while the Civil War rages across Virginia, Union General Daniel Butterfield composes a new song to order lights out for his troops.
So this is very historic ground, and the fact that taps, America's most famous bugle call, was born here is just so important.
Yari Villanueva is considered America's preeminent taps historian. The Bugler from Maryland says the new tune grips the 140,000 soldiers camped at Berkeley and beyond.
And I'm sure that they all were looking at each other wondering what that was.
The United States Air Force band veteran has performed taps tens of thousands of times at Arlington National Cemetery and military ceremonies.
It has been a bugle call that's been with me all my life.
TAPS was born out of this incredibly awful struggle.
Malcolm Jameson, who owns Berkeley, says taps touches his soul.
It was a haunting melody.
As a teen, Malcolm's grandfather John served as a drummer boy in the Union Army and listened to taps performed right here at the very beginning.
I've heard it hundreds, thousands of times. Every time I hear it, it gives me goosebumps.
Berkeley embraces its connection to music history. A marker installed 53 years ago commemorates the moment. On display, the instrument reportedly owned by Oliver Norton Wilcox, the soldier who first sounded the song.
It's an emotional call because it's performed under the most trying circumstances.
The 24 notes of taps signal finality, a somber ending. But it is one tune that carries.
I try to make it as flawless as possible.
Enduring over the centuries.
I just do my best trying to reach that ultimate goal.
Passed down from generation to generation. One soldier to another. I'm Greg McQuaid, reporting.